how to let AI help you stay upstream in the trading info chain to build an information edge and a decision advantage. Today, I'll share my current methodology. First, let me ask you a question. In AI-powered quant trading, what's the most important thing for AI to do? Is it writing strategies, analyzing K-lines, judging market sentiment, or mining factors? These things, I've shared some implementation details in previous videos, but I now believe these are just tactics, not the strategy. None of them are the core logic of using AI in quant trading. We use AI to write strategies, analyze sentiment, and mine factors. These are indeed valuable, but haven't you noticed? Even after doing all this, sometimes it still misses the trends it should catch. But that's not the fault of the AI or the strategy. It's because we've been optimizing midstream and downstream. No matter how refined your downstream is, it will never outperform those standing upstream in the info chain. I've been iterating on my tools for 2 months, and in practice, I feel more and more that in quant trading, the core logic of AI's operation is to help us move upstream, step by step. With every layer we move up, the context AI sees is more complete, and its judgments will be closer to the real market picture. At every step in between, the info gaps hidden between different layers are the true info edge an average trader can build. The most important thing for AI to do is to help us discover these cross-layer patterns that individuals can't piece together. So what does this info chain look like? Let me show you my understanding. I divide quant trading info into 5 layers. The bottom layer is raw exchange data, K-lines, order books, and trade records. This is what's available to everyone. The second layer is technical indicators like RSI, MACD, and moving averages. Essentially, it's just raw data processed through math. The third layer is market news and events. The fourth layer I define as capital flow direction. Where is the money going in the market? Is it flowing in or flowing out? The fifth layer is the behavior of smart money. When is smart money accumulating and when is it pulling back? I guess most people doing quant, including those using AI, still only use the first 2 layers daily, which are K-lines and technical indicators. You might think, well, I'll just add a news source and some smart money data. Does that mean I'm moving up the chain? It's really not that simple, because that's how I used to see it. But adding them didn't actually work well. By the time the news is out, the event has already happened. Smart money data is inherently chaotic and fragmented. Looking at any layer in isolation isn't a real advantage. The true advantage isn't about having faster data in one layer. It's about whether you can build a cross-layer perception system. By aligning different layers on the same timeline, their time offsets become observable. This is my latest insight. Think about it. Upstream players have already acted. If we downstream only decide after seeing the news, that time lag in between is the true source of an information edge. The problem is this cross-layer time offset is hidden across many assets, dozens of news feeds, and smart money data correlations. For a single asset, you might catch it by intuition. But for systematic real-time coverage, humans simply can't do it. At least I certainly can't. Human brain power is limited. Speaking of which, you might think of this. Can't I just run code to do it in bulk? Isn't that the core logic of quant trading? Collect data, cross-reference it. Programs are indeed good at that. After all, that's how I started out. But as I went along, I found a very practical problem. Upstream info is often contradictory. News might be bullish, but capital might be exiting. Big money is entering again, but market sentiment is in extreme fear. If you use programmatic methods, it's hard. The more you code, the more it overfits. With if-else statements, every conflicting combo adds another branch. 3 data sources create dozens of branches. With 5 data sources, it just becomes spaghetti code, completely unmaintainable. The way AI handles this is totally different. It doesn't judge rule by rule. It can take strategy logic, positions, market, and news sentiment, and put it all in one context for a final verdict. Looking back at what I've done, at first I only had K-lines and indicators. That's all the AI had to work with. The judgments it made, honestly, were no different from my own. Then I added real-time fund flow data, like CVD, OI, and funding rates. AI could see where the money was going. Decision quality improved significantly. I've shared this in previous videos. Later, I built a factor engine. So AI doesn't just use current metrics, but can mine and verify for itself which indicators in this environment actually have predictive power. I added programmatic trading too. Fixed rule strategies execute in milliseconds. But after all that, I was still stuck in the middle of the chain. So lately, I've taken 2 more steps. First, I integrated more news sources. The system collects market news in real time and classifies the sentiment. This news isn't for humans to read. It's fed directly into the AI's context. And for the second step, I used technical means to get behavioral data on big money, creating an external information source. I can see the activity rhythm of big money and smart money. Once this data comes in, I don't use it to trigger trades directly. That's a key point. Like the fund flow data, they're signal sources for the system. When conditions are met, they wake the AI. I didn't overthink it at first. I just thought more data would make the AI more accurate. So I just kept adding layers. Fund flow added, New sources added, big money behavioral data, I brought that in too. Since the framework was there, integrating data was very fast. Until last week, I saw in the AI decision logs an unusual trade judgment for an asset. It didn't move on another similar asset. I thought it was a bug at first, but looking at its reasoning, both had positive news and similar technical setups. But the AI compared the activity rhythms of big money. One's activity dropped 3 days ago, while the other was still active. AI distinguished the two situations itself. This is something I never wrote any rules for. It just did it. With the cross-layer architecture, the AI found this judgment emerging from the data itself. At that moment, I realized what AI really needs isn't better prompts or more data, but layered data and a complete vision. Give it these 5 layers of data, and it sees cross-layer time gaps. If you only give it K-lines and indicators, no matter how smart, it'll just spin its wheels in the middle. This is the core logic I've developed for using AI in quant trading. By building a cross-layer data system, AI puts you upstream in the info chain, creating an edge in info and decisions. So everyone, if you're using AI for trading now, no matter the tool or the model, stop and ask yourself one thing. Where does the info you feed AI sit on the information chain? Try moving up a layer, even just one more dimension, and see if the AI's judgment changes. When we're making decisions, every now and then, look up and see exactly where you stand. I hope today's insights were helpful to you all. Remember to like and follow.